The rules just changed. Congress has approved new immigration regulations that will affect millions of green card holders across the United States. If you have a green card, if you are waiting for one, or if you know someone who does, what I am about to tell you could mean the difference between keeping your status and losing everything you have worked for. These changes are significant. They are immediate, and you cannot afford to ignore them. Before we dive in, I need you to do something right now. Hit that subscribe button for Ashley John, turn on notifications, like this video, and share it with anyone who holds a green card or is waiting for one. This information could save someone's immigration status. Your engagement helps us reach more people who need to hear this. I am Ashley John, and today I am breaking down the brand new immigration rules that Congress just approved and specifically how they impact green card holders. This is not speculation. This is not rumor. These are confirmed changes that are already in effect or will be very soon. Stay with me until the end, because I will give you a clear action plan for what you need to do right now to protect your immigration status. Let me start by giving you the big picture. Congress has passed a comprehensive immigration reform package that includes several provisions specifically targeting green card holders. The stated goal is to strengthen immigration enforcement, reduce fraud, and ensure that green card holders are meeting their obligations under U.S. law. While some of these changes are reasonable, others are creating serious concerns in the immigrant community. Let us go through each major change one by one so you understand exactly what is happening. Change number 1, stricter physical presence requirements. This is arguably the biggest change and will affect the most people. Under the new rules, green card holders must maintain a more substantial physical presence in the United States. Previously, the general understanding was that you could travel abroad for up to 6 months at a time without jeopardizing your green card. Trips under 6 months were generally safe. Extended absences beyond 1 year would trigger abandonment concerns unless you had a re-entry permit. The new rules tighten this significantly. Green card holders must now be physically present in the United States for at least 6 months out of every 12-month period. That means if you are spending more than 6 months per year outside the U.S., you are at risk of being found to have abandoned your permanent residence. But it gets more complex. The rule also looks at a 3-year rolling period. If you spend more than 18 months outside the U.S. in any 3-year period, immigration officials can question whether you truly intend to live permanently in America. What does this mean practically? If you travel frequently for work, if you have family obligations abroad, or if you maintain a home in another country, you need to be very careful. Keep detailed records of all your trips. Say boarding passes, passport stamps, hotel receipts, anything that proves when you entered and left the United States. If you are planning an extended trip abroad, you may need to apply for a re-entry permit before you leave. This permit allows you to stay outside the U.S. for up to 2 years without abandoning your green card, but you must apply for it while you are physically in the United States. Change number 2, mandatory biometrics updates. All green card holders will now be required to update their biometrics with USCIS every 5 years. Biometrics means fingerprints, photographs, and signatures. Previously, this was only required when you renewed your green card every 10 years. Now, it is every 5 years. Regardless of whether your card needs renewal, you will receive a notice from USCIS telling you to appear at an application support center for your biometrics appointment. You must attend this appointment. If you miss it, without good cause, your green card can be revoked. Yes, revoked. This is not a minor administrative matter. The government can terminate your permanent resident status if you fail to comply with biometrics requirements. If you have moved and have not updated your address with USCIS, you might not receive the notice. That is why it is absolutely critical to keep your address current using Form AR11. Within 10 days of moving. Change number 3, enhanced background checks. Green card holders will now be subject to ongoing criminal background checks. This is not just when you apply for citizenship. This is continuous monitoring. If you are arrested for any crime, even a misdemeanor, USCIS will be notified automatically through data sharing between law enforcement agencies and immigration data. ACEs. Certain crimes can lead to deportation even if you are a green card holder. These include crimes of moral turpitude, aggravated felonies, domestic violence, drug offenses, and firearms violations. Under the new rules, the threshold for what triggers removal proceedings has been lowered. Minor offenses that previously might have been overlooked are now being scrutinized more carefully. If you have any criminal history, even if it is old or was expuned, you need to consult with an immigration attorney immediately to understand your risk. Change number 4, tax compliance verification. This is a big one. Green card holders must now prove they are filing U.S. tax returns and paying taxes. The IRS and USCIS are now sharing information more extensively. When you apply to renew your green card, or when you apply for citizenship, you will be required to submit tax transcripts for the past 5 years, showing that you filed returns and paid what you owed. If you have not been filing your taxes, this is a serious problem. As a green card holder, you are required to file U.S. tax returns on your worldwide income every year, even if you are living abroad. Failure to file can result in not only tax penalties, but also immigration consequences, including denial of citizenship and potential removal proceedings. If you are behind on your taxes, work with a tax professional immediately to get compliant. The IRS has programs for people who have not been filing. It is better to fix this proactively than to wait until USCIS discovers it. Change number 5, public charge considerations for green card holders. The public charge rule traditionally applied to people applying for green cards, but the new regulations extend to existing green card holders as well. If you are receiving certain public benefits like cash assistance, SNAP food stamps, Medicaid except for emergency services, or subsidized housing, this can now be considered when you apply for citizenship or if there is any reason. Your status is being reviewed. This does not mean you will automatically lose your green card if you use public benefits, but it can be held against you. The government can argue that you are likely to become primarily dependent on the government for support. If you are using public benefits, document why. If it is because of temporary unemployment, a medical emergency, or other circumstances beyond your control, gather evidence showing this. If you can demonstrate that you are taking steps to become self-sufficient, that helps. Change number 6, expanded grounds for deportation. Congress has added new categories of deportable offenses. These include material support to terrorism, even if you did not know the organization was designated as terrorist, false claim to U.S. citizenship, even if made by mistake, and voting in federal elections if you are not a citizen, even if you thought you were eligible. These are harsh rules with no exceptions for good faith mistakes. Be very careful about any forms you fill out. If there is a question about citizenship, answer truthfully. Do not check a box saying you are a U.S. citizen when you are only a green card holder. This happens more often than you think, especially on voter registration forms. Some states automatically send voter registration forms to everyone who gets a driver's license, and people check boxes without reading carefully. One wrong checkmark can result in deportation. Change number 7, citizenship interview changes. When green card holders apply for naturalization, the citizenship interview process has been significantly expanded. The civics test remains at 100 questions, but the test is harder with more complex questions about American history and government. The English language requirements are also stricter with less leniency for older applicants or those with disabilities. Additionally, the interview now includes detailed questions about your entire time as a green card holder. They will ask about your travels, your employment, your tax filings, your family relationships, and any interactions with law enforcement. They are looking for inconsistencies between what you say and what is in their records. Be prepared. Bring documents proving everything on your application. Do not guess or estimate. If you do not remember something, say you do not remember rather than making something up. Change number R8. Expedited removal for certain offenses. Previously, if you were a green card holder accused of deportability, you had the right to a hearing before an immigration judge where you could present your case and potentially apply for relief. The new rules allow for expedited removal in certain circumstances, meaning you can be deported quickly without a full hearing. This applies to green card holders convicted of aggravated felonies or who are deemed national security threats. If you fall into one of these categories, you have very limited rights. You cannot apply for most forms of relief from deportation. You cannot appeal to a higher court in most cases. The decision is made quickly and carried out quickly. This is why it is so critical to avoid any criminal involvement whatsoever. C. And number 9. Re-entry permit limitations. If you need to travel outside the U.S. for an extended period, you can apply for a re-entry permit. Previously, you could get a re-entry permit valid for 2 years and apply for another one after you returned. The new rules limit you to 1 re-entry permit per 5-year period. If you are someone who needs to travel frequently for extended periods, this C creates a problem. You may need to reconsider whether maintaining your green card is feasible given your travel needs. Change number 10. Social Security verification. USCIS is now cross-checking green card holder information with Social Security Administration records. They are looking for green card holders who are not working legally or who are not paying Social Security taxes. If you are working under the table or using a fake Social Security number, this will be discovered. The consequences include deportation and criminal prosecution for fraud. Now, let us talk about what you should do to protect yourself. First, if you travel, keep meticulous records. Create a spreadsheet with every trip you take. Note the date you left, the date you returned, and the purpose of the trip. Keep all travel documents. If immigration ever questions your physical presence, you will have proof. Second, make sure your address is always current with USCIS. File Form AR-11 online or by mail every time you move. This takes 5 minutes and can save your green card. If USCIS sends you important notices and you do not receive them because your address is wrong, you will miss deadlines and face consequences. File your taxes every single year. Even if you do not owe money, even if you are living abroad, even if you do not have income, file a tax return. Keep copies of your returns and your tax transcripts. When you apply for citizenship, you will need them. Fourth, attend all USCIS appointments. If you get a notice for biometrics or an interview, go. If you absolutely cannot attend, file a request to reschedule immediately with a valid reason and documentation. Do not just skip it. Fifth, avoid any criminal activity. This seems obvious, but it bears repeating. Even minor offenses can have immigration consequences. Do not drive under the influence. Do not get in fights. Do not use drugs. Do not shoplift. Do not commit fraud of any kind. Any arrest can trigger immigration problems. Sixth, if you are charged with a crime, get both a criminal lawyer and an immigration lawyer. They need to work together. Sometimes a plea deal that seems good from a criminal standpoint is terrible for immigration. Seventh, do not lie on any immigration forms or at any immigration interviews. If you made a mistake on a previous application, correct it as soon as possible. USCIS can forgive honest mistakes if you correct them promptly. They cannot forgive fraud. One lie can result in permanent inadmissibility to the United States. Eighth, if you are using public benefits, document why and keep evidence that you are working towards self-sufficiency. Ninth, maintain ties to the United States. Have a U.S. bank account. Keep a U.S. driver's license. File U.S. taxes. Own or rent a home in the U.S. Have family in the U.S. These things show you genuinely intend to live here permanently. 10th, consider applying for citizenship. Once you are a U.S. citizen, most of these rules do not apply anymore. You cannot be deported except in extremely rare cases of fraud in obtaining citizenship. You can travel freely without worrying about physical presence requirements. If you have been a green card holder for 5 years or 3 years, if married to a U.S. citizen and you meet the other requirements, apply for citizenship. It is the best protection. Thank you for watching Ashley John today. If you found this information valuable, please subscribe to Ashley John and hit the notification bell. Immigration law changes rapidly, and we are here to keep you informed every step of the way. Share this video with any green card holders you know. This information could literally save someone's immigration status. Leave a comment below with your questions or concerns about these new rules. The stakes are too high to be careless. Until next time, stay informed, stay compliant, and protect your status. This is Ashley John signing.